All right, let's tackle a question I hear all the time. You've got that old, maybe outdated tile floor, right? But the idea of tearing it all out, it's just a nightmare to even think about. So here's the big question. Can you take a shortcut? Can you lay that beautiful new laminate right over the top? Let's dive in.
I mean, seriously, anyone who's even considered ripping out old tile knows what a can of worms that can be. We're talking about a dust storm in your house, the unbelievable noise, and spending a whole lot of time and money just to get back to a bare floor. It's enough to make you just live with the old tile forever.
Well, here's the good news. According to flooring contractor James Miller, the short answer is a big yes. You often can install laminate directly over your existing tile. It's a totally practical and really efficient option. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it all depends on doing it the right way.
So what's the secret sauce that makes this possible? It's because laminate flooring is what's called a floating floor system. This means the planks don't actually get glued or nailed down to anything. They just float. They have these clever edges that click together, almost like big puzzle pieces, and the whole floor just rests right on top of whatever's underneath.
And that's the key right there. Your old tile floor becomes the new subfloor for your laminate. So for this to work, that tile foundation has to be absolutely solid. We're talking stable, mostly level, and with no major cracks or loose, wobbly tiles.
So assuming your tile is in good shape, what are the big wins here? Why go this route? Well, when you do it right, this isn't about cutting corners. It's about taking a smarter, way more efficient path to a brand new floor.
First off, you get to skip that insane demolition mess we talked about. That alone can save you days of work and a big chunk of change on labor costs. Plus, think about it. You're adding layers of underlayment and laminate. That adds insulation and comfort. It's kind of like putting a cozy pair of socks over that cold, hard tile floor. It just feels better.
Of course, it's not always a walk in the park. There are definitely some common issues you need to be aware of. So let's flip the coin and make sure you're prepared for the potential downsides.
Probably the biggest thing to watch out for is the new floor height. You're adding at least a ½ inch, maybe more. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but it can suddenly mean your bedroom or closet doors won't close anymore. You also have to watch out for hollow sounds or a springy feeling if the tile isn't perfectly flat, and you really got to be careful about trapping moisture, especially in a kitchen.
And when we say flat, how flat are we really talking about? Well, here's the number to remember. The rule of thumb is that you shouldn't have any dips or bumps greater than 3 millimeters over a 1 meter span. That's pretty darn flat. If you have low spots bigger than that, you're going to need to fill them with a leveling compound before you do anything else.
Now let's get serious. When is this project just a flat-out bad idea? You know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and recognizing these red flags right away is going to save you a world of headaches down the road.
This is the bottom line. Do not move forward if your tile is damaged. If it's cracked or loose, you're basically building a house on shaky ground. It's just doomed to fail. Also, just walk away if the new height is going to create a tripping hazard, or if you're working in a super high moisture area like a bathroom. Water could get trapped underneath and cause the whole floor to swell up. No thanks.
Okay, so let's say you've checked your tile, it's solid, it's level, and you're ready to make this happen. Here's your game plan for getting the job done right. The whole job really comes down to these 5 core steps. And look closely. The first 3 are all about prep. You have to inspect and repair, check the level, and roll out the right underlayment. Seriously, if you get that foundation right, the rest of the job is actually pretty smooth sailing.
And choosing that underlayment is absolutely critical. A basic foam can work for small imperfections, yeah. But your best bet over tile, especially in a place like a kitchen, is a combination underlayment that has a vapor barrier built right in. It's your all-in-one cushion, sound blocker, and moisture defender.
All right, now for some pro tips. These are the little details that separate a job that just looks good from a floor that's going to last for years. It really is all about the prep. You have to let those unopened boxes of laminate just sit in the room for at least 2 days. They need to acclimate, to get used to the temperature and humidity in your house. And that 1/4 inch gap you leave around the walls, it is not optional. If you skip that, your floor is going to buckle and warp as soon as the weather changes.
And I love this final piece of advice because it's so true. The success of the entire project really depends on how carefully you begin. If that very first row of laminate is perfectly straight and locked in, the rest of the floor will just fall into place. So take your time with it. And that really brings us to the end. At the end of the day, putting laminate over tile is a fantastic, time-saving, money-saving solution, but only if that foundation is solid. So the final question really is for you to answer. Is your old tile floor ready to support something new?